Welcome back everyone to another War Thunder review. This time we are reviewing the F.222.2. Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Easy to remember. This is absolutely the lowest battle rating bomber I've ever reviewed or possibly could review. On realistic battles, this is a 1.3. The advantages being that we're on a really small map, and with the air spawn being at 4,500 meters, very little chance of any enemy fighters coming up to get us, at least on our first pass of dropping bombs. And we're going to actually take this 52 bomb load of 50 kilogram bombs, each one with an explosive mass of 29 kilograms. That's really important when we talk about how many bombs it takes to destroy a base. You need to know the explosive mass. So here's the map we'll be running with. I won't even try to pronounce that name. Look how small the map is, though. It's, we're not going to have that problem of spending the first 10 minutes of the match just trying to get to our first target. Much smaller map. Taking a quick look at the other players we have with us. See MiG-3s, J-8As, EOS-2U3. We're looking at 1.0 to about 1.7 in this match. That's important to know too for the health of the base. We're going to quickly move through these next couple minutes getting to our first base target. Important things to note here are just keep that base reticle lined up right down the center of your plane so that you're pretty well on target when you start looking through your bomb scope. Okay, this base should have approximately 375 kilograms of health. So we're going to drop 12 bombs, which would be about 348. And we're going to just watch the rest of the health bleed off over the next few seconds after the bombs explode. I'll make another recording later on base health. It's just really complicated, not as straightforward, which is why you don't see too many videos on it. Okay, I dropped 12 bombs now. I'm going to make a really hard turn. We have 3 bases here, and if you haven't noticed, since we only dropped 12 bombs there, we have plenty of bombs for the next 2 bases as well. So lining up that reticle as best I can on the tail of the plane. Just make small adjustments here.
Attack the enemy!
That damaged blood off really quick on the last base, so we're going to try just 11 bombs on this one.
We're ahead of the enemy.
And I think we're going to try just 10 on this one. Okay, you can see up on the left the enemy airfield. We still have quite a few bombs left to drop. So, and because we have so many to drop, we just can't go straight across the airfield. We need to line up lengthwise on it. So I'm going to take an angle over here to the right side and then turn back to the airfield. Okay, we're starting a hard turn to the left here. My crew level's not very high, but I'm still able to pull that maneuver off. And it is spaded out, so maybe it's just as good as it's going to get. Still a little bit of struggle pulling it back on target there. We have quite a few bombs here to start delivering. If I already finished the bomb run, I could have put quite a few more on there, which is important to note for next time. Okay, spotting our airfield up there on the left, so we'll point our nose over there and head home. Base has been damaged, so we're going to take a look at that. Let's see, we took about a third of the base out with 19 bombs, so maybe a full load would take out the rest of the base. So we're going to point our nose in front of our airfield up there and cut out, I think, quite a bit of this travel home since it was uneventful. Okay, we're going to show our landing once again. Just can't get too much practice doing this. This plane has no flaps, so we are going to have to just bleed our speed off naturally. Side to side, pitching around, certainly cutting our throttle back now. But as usual, you want to give yourself a lot of room to land. The bombers are just not very maneuverable, so going around takes a lot of time. It's frustrating. So just give yourself some room right here. There's no reason not to. With this low-level bomber, the rip speed is pretty low, so be careful about when you put your landing gear down. We're already under 280 kilometers per hour. But I'm going to give it a little bit longer. That fuel leak is because of some AA we encountered over the middle of the map returning home. Nothing as exciting as another fighter trying to get us. Taking a look at our landing gear now that I've deployed. Takes a while on a bomber to get it down, so make sure you don't do it at the last second. What I'm doing now is pointing the nose of the plane to the front of the runway. And that's where that's actually where we'll hit if we don't do anything like pitching up. We'll pitch up here in a minute, but to start with, just point your nose right at the edge of that runway. Now we are floating a bit. Now we've touched down. I am a little concerned about running off the edge of the runway. Our brakes are not doing a thing right now until we get closer to 100 kilometers per hour. So I'm just turning right Then turning back to the left and just waiting for my brakes. There we go. I'll save y'all the repair, refuel, rearmament, and get back in the air when we're a little closer to our next target. Okay, we're back in the air. You can see where we are, lining up on some ground targets now to our left. There's one enemy fighter left. You can see that BF-109 on their runway out there. He won't be a problem. We certainly can't do anything about him, so we're just going to keep on pounding ground targets here. Ground targets are pretty small, and since we have 52 bombs, we're not going to be stingy. We'll be giving 3 or 4 bombs per target here. Trying to make small adjustments, but these ground targets are not very cooperative when it comes to where they've placed themselves. So sometimes we have to make big adjustments. Okay, 4 bombs there. And over to our left here, there's some more targets. Now you'd think I would have lined up to those 2 targets on the right in a straight line, but I didn't do that, so I'm going to be targeting this one on the left side. You can see up there on the right that BF-109 is taking off from the runway now. Not too worried about him at the moment, since he is 9 kilometers away and likely cannot see us. So we're gonna just turn back the way we came and make another run on all these targets. And full disclosure, this next pass, I botched it so bad I decided to cut it out. So we're gonna skip ahead here to the third pass where we're coming back the same direction we just did and catch a few more targets that way. So this is the reason why I'm going to skip this next part. That hard turn I made to the left, I could not get the plane lined back up over these targets that are underneath us now and end up missing my primary targets for this pass. Okay, we're making a big turn to the left here for our third pass. Yep, you can turn like that in a bomber. Just be ready for the corrections you have to make. As you can see, gave ourselves quite a bit more room this time to get the bomber back on track before we head to the bomb scope, so we don't miss our primary targets right up front here. We're getting pretty low on tickets here, so at any point we could be ending the game, but we're going to see if we can't be the ones to end the game, knock out a few more of these, remembering not to be stingy on the bombs. Okay, this time we're going to be a little smarter about these 3 targets coming up and hit those 2 on the right that are lined up nice for us. We'll even zoom in a little bit, give us a better shot at it. Three on that target. 3 more on that target. Okay, we still have 18 bombs left, and that airfield looks really tempting. BF-109 is behind us in that red grid square you can see, 4 kilometers. Looks like he's actually going to close on us a little bit. But with just almost no tickets left, I don't see him catching us before the end of the match. Go ahead and line up on the airfield. You only need about 2,000 meters above the airfield at this low battle rating to avoid the AA. And there's the final blow. So we're not going to get a chance to bomb the airfield again, but as you can see, we would have done well right there. So overall, we did extremely well. We took out 3 bases, dropped 1.4 tons of bombs, took out 7 ground targets. It was a very, very effective low battle rating. I can't believe this bomber has 52 50-kilogram bombs. While taking out 3 bases and damaging the airfield. This is a great bomber, guys, and it's easy to get from France. Go get it.